Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie and Co-Estate Agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon and welcome to Leicester Fan TV. After a, absolutely embarrassing performance to end the weekend of Leicester lose 5-2 away at Brighton. Get your views in, get your comments. It's your time. We want to know what you think. Obviously, Phil was doing his little bit of a rant with Sam, but it's time to have your say now. We're going to get as many comments up as we can in the next half an hour. I'm truly embarrassed to be sitting here tonight. People can say, well, the players on the pitch. Yeah, the players on the pitch have to take some responsibility, but a manager picks the team. And then Dyche again at centre-half. Well, what can you say? That goal, one-on-one defending, he got done so easy. And then you just have to leave him. You can't let the man make, once he's in the box, try and tackle him. We know this. So, no, again, he makes a mistake and gives a penalty away. Disappointed, Jono. What's your thoughts quickly before we go through the comments? What are piling up already?
I think this is the worst it's been since League One. Absolutely horrific. Horrific. It's laughable. I'm laughing because I have nothing else to say.
Yeah. That's the thing about it, mate.
I predicted we'll concede 5, didn't I? In the chat in the preview show, I predicted 5. And because I knew what Brighton were going to do. It was laughable. This defending is better. Stockport did better defending than us in the EFL Cup. And this is...
I just said, enough's enough. Brendan, thank you. And thank you for the FA Cup. We will always remember you for that. And we'll remember you for taking us on European tours. But there's times when you watch on a pitch and players are arguing, and that tells me there's a toxic atmosphere in that camp now, that Warden and Dyche in the first half turn each other to F off. Daniel Amati and Madison just before the full-time whistle having a go at each other. Players having a go at each other mean there's no respect in that chain room between each other. The players have lost each other what they're doing. And for me, that the manager has to sort that. And for it to get that far down the line that you've got players arguing you on pitches, that tells me there's no team spirit there anymore. And to me, that's gone. Let's get the comments in.
Before you do that, even a few games ago, everyone said, no, that's not right. He contradicted Brendan's comments. That's when, that's when it started to me to think, actually, this is worse than I thought.
Well, yeah. I'm not even going to watershed the comments tonight. Gone. Yep, spot on, mate. I ain't going to muck around with, he shouldn't have been on the bench to coach. No, he shouldn't have gone. He should have gone after the Man U defeat. Let's go down. Carlos says, Rodgers out. Who wants my Villa ticket? Well, I've just put a tweet saying if he's still there for Villa game, I will be taking the Rodgers out banner with me because enough is enough. 10 a.m. board meeting tomorrow. Rodgers will have no more excuse this time. Things are settling down, he said, when the window shuts. Yeah, right. Well, he's got no excuses this time. He can't blame injury for it. Last year, I gave him the benefit of the doubt because of their injuries. He can't blame injuries this year.
Like Forest game, that's when Brendan got his, that's when he said we needed a freshen up. That excuse was that we needed a freshen up. That's one. Second one is we had injuries, right? That's now we don't have any injuries. Third one, we had no money to support the team. Then, the transfer window has made the team unsettled. That's gone. No more excuses now. No more.
I'm going to ask this question because I love people saying this. Who replaces him? Right.
Anyone.
No. See, I love this question when people say it because they want you to give an answer. I'll give you an answer. The board of directors are getting paid multi-million pounds a year to do a job. They go out and find the right manager for them, not the fans. The fans can have a say what they think they want. Pochettino, Dyche, chuck a name in there, all you want, mate. But for me, the board directors have to go and choose the right man for the job. They get paid the big bucks when when these decisions have to be made. So if you think, Richard, that Brendan Rodgers is the man to stay, put it in there and tell me why. Because at the moment we're heading one way, and that is to the Championship, mate. And for someone who's watched this club for 24 years, season to get older, and watches the darkest days of at Forest away in almost going bust, and then 6-7 years of drug Championship football before we got relegated to League One. I do not want to be going back to the Championship in the manner we're going down as it stands. And we are 1 point from 18 games, 29 league games without a clean sheet, 7 wins out of 27 in the Premier League in the calendar year. This is Rodgers. They're facts. They're not just things made up. They're facts. We are going down and we are sinking quicker. And you can see it today with a group of players arguing with each other. Sean, if Top doesn't sack him, then we need to question Top. Completely agree. Love you, Top. But like you say, Claudio got sacked for less than this. We had more points when Claudio got sacked.
Each time was here, he'll be gone. Massively
exactly.
Gone.
Time to drop Ward for, definitely. Completely said. For me, I said it in a tweet earlier. Rodgers was kidding himself when he said we had 2 number ones at the club. Absolute kidding himself. No way Danny Ward is the number 1. We've made a massive balls by not signing him. Yeah.
But he's not Premier League starting. His first game he did all right. Okay, we'll give him one more game. Now he's not. He's arguing with the players. You can't do that as a goalkeeper because you need synchronized. That's why defense is so poor, because he's not communicating with the defenders, and when he does, it's F off. And you can't do that.
I mean, this one here, why do we have to pay him off? Now, this is a question I love, because if I got sacked in my job or Jono gets sacked in his job, we don't get a payoff. So why should a manager, even if he signs a 4-year contract, why should he deserve to get a payoff of stupid money? He's getting sacked because he's done a rubbish job. It's a thing that I absolutely hate, that players can get sacked and get paid off for doing a rubbish job in life. Jono said before we can see 4. Yes, he did.
I said 5.
5. Well, there you go. It's getting toxic. It's getting toxic. The fans again were chanting, "You're getting sacked in the morning," more and more. I heard it at Stockport when I was there. Reedy's put a video, or someone's put videos, and again it was today. That's Ward is a bit of a butterfingers. Yes, he is, mate. James says he's got to go, but we have serious issues now. Yes, we do, because everyone can say about transfer windows. Top's come out and been honest. What I loved about Top, he came out and said, why we haven't signed players? Because we spent 5 years of signing players. We'd spent a lot of money, and now we've ended up with Vestergaard, Sion-Chu. I'm a bit 50-50 Sion-Chu, because I generally feel the right manager can turn him around again, get back to the player that he was. I just generally think Rodgers don't want to be involved, and Rodgers isn't that good as a man management. We got Ryan Bertram sitting on the bench with silly money wages. You know, Daniel Amati, love you bits, Danny, but you're not Premiership quality for me. You can do a job now and then, but not to the constant player in that back line. Body language awful. Players arguing among themselves. He has lost him. Yes, he has, mate. And to hear BBC Radio Leicester just say now the players have to take some responsibility. They do in some ways, but they don't in another way when they're not the one picking the team today. Team's gone. 11 strangers playing together. That sums it up completely nice, Jason. Everyone's sure Brendan has to go. Something's very wrong at our club. Completely agree. The Foxy Trust must set up and go a GoFund page for Rodgers.
Rodgers not page.
Oh wow!
I mean, I respect Brendan as a person. I'm not saying I'm not gonna. I don't wish him bad health. I wish him success. But there comes to a point where it's when you're at a job and you get too comfortable and you know the shortcuts. You know what you can get away with. He's got to a point where, I can do this because I've won the FA Cup. It's fine. No, enough is enough. We need to freshen up and he has to go.
Good evening, Councillor. He says, time for interim manager, Dyche. Well, do you know what? Yeah, there's an option there if you want an interim. Sadly, I don't think Dyche will come as an interim manager. I think if Dyche comes, he's going to want a 2-3 year contract. And generally listening, look, people are very what's called about Sean Dyche. I'm very open mind with Sean Dyche. I listened to his interview the other day. It was a very interesting interview. And he basically said, people think I've got one way of playing football. I don't. I play the way that suited the players we had at Burnley. That's what I like to hear. He played a way that suited the players. Rodgers plays one way that he wants to play. He doesn't play the way that suits the players. He plays a way of football or brand of football that suits him, not the players. Dyche, for me, wouldn't be a bad choice for a short-term fix to rebuild that squad. Because at the moment, forget about Europe, forget about challenging the thing. The squad of players now, what Nigel Pearson worked his guts off to do to clear the rubbish out years ago and get them down, and same with Brendan towards the back end. Brendan's now brought a load of cart horses we're stuck with. James says, nail the confidence, the fraud. Nail the confidence, Rodgers, the fraud. Carlos has got the points where I don't care anymore. Mate, I sat there with about 10 minutes ago and my son said something to me and went, I don't care, mate. I really don't. And that's hard. Say to your 7-year-old, I don't care today. Rudkin and Rodgers to go. Completely agree. Rudkin has to take some of the blame as well. Completely agree.
I'm not going to watch next week's game if Rodgers is in because I know it's going to happen.
Man said this morning they'd score 5. Yes, he did. Said we'd score 5. Martin said, goodbye, Brendan Rodgers. We can't ask to keep you at the end going down. Thanks for the past trophies, but defence coach has been dreadful. Well, Kolo Toure, what are we paying him to be at the end of the day? Mark says, just get rid of him. Yeah, completely agree. Daniel says, thank you and goodbye. Stick him on gardening leave and get Dyche in. That was someone mentioned this morning, but it could be an option. Councillor, why the treatment if Cags, Pratt, Carlin? Well, exactly. Cal again, last 20 odd games, 5 goals or something like stupid amount of goals and assists in his last 25 starts, but he can't get started in that many games. Prove today why he should be playing. I'm very much Rodgers out, but I don't believe everything is as it's said before the squad. Players arguing with each other, players not in the squad for whatever reason. Yes, defence is bad, but that's what he's picking. Yaks and Cags are only defenders due to keep clean sheets and they get dropped. Yeah, I completely agree. But again, same with Cassagna. Cassagna got dropped because he disagreed with what Rodgers said after the Southampton game.
Well, why wasn't Evans dropped then? Because
exactly. And the only reason Evans wasn't dropped was because he's the captain. He hasn't got any other players to do it. Brendan was to go out now. That was embarrassing. Rodgers out.
The third game out of 6 we've lost or drawn from winning positions. That's 50% of our games. We've been winning and lost or drew.
Tom said, did you watch the game? I watched the whole of the game, mate, on telly. So I saw all the replays and everything. What is your question back to me there then? It was embarrassing today. I don't care that we scored 2 goals, mate. That team performance, once again, Maddison giving the ball away for the first goal. Maddison and Samari not smashing the bloke before the third goal went in. If they both take, one of them takes a yellow card for the team, it's still 2-2. Gambling game managed as well.
I've got a positive. Gross got me 5 points on fantasy.
Oh, Maddison got me nothing. And Vardy, great.
I put Gross It's not.
We need it's Rodgers, the players, top Wheeland, Rudkin, the whole club's a mess. Completely agree. I'm not just blaming Rodgers, all of the blame, but Rodgers is the one who picked the team today. And then for me, Daniel Amati was on the bench. If he's on the bench, he's fitting us to start and should have started in front of a Diddy. I don't see what's there's too much to argue on that one. 5-2, laughing stock. Defeat 11, defense 11 again. Don't know his best 11. We should get down the training ground and make the fuss like Everton did last season. Well, like I say, mate, I said that when I spoke to the United stand that if we go goal down to Villa next Saturday, the atmosphere in that ground will get toxic even more than it has been today, and it was against
minute 1, mate. It'll be toxic as soon as the game starts. There'll be chanting, there'll be booing.
Outfoxed, outplayed. Spot on, Phil. Glenn James says we're in danger of being relegated before the World Cup break. If nothing changes, truly sad and embarrassing. We're officially laughing stock. Look, I said this the other night after Man U game. We had 3 games before the international break. We're on 18 points. Well, that was 18 points. We got 1 out of those 18. We've got 6 more points to play for. We could go into the international play on 8 games with 1 point. That is embarrassing.
So hang on. So after these games, is it the World Cup?
No, it's the international break. So we've got a 2-week break then before the next game. And then we're back. And then we get West Ham in mid-November is our last Premiership game, basically, before we break up for the World Cup. Ward, Justin, Maddison have poor performances. Completely agreed. Chuck Luke Thomas in there for me. The second goal.
Very poor.
What is he doing? What is he doing? He's not in chasing the man back. He let the man run past him and he didn't even bother to sprint. And he wants to play.
You're putting in Luke Thomas in a game against a flying team, and why? You set him up to fail. Because why is Cassagna starting?
Exactly. Good God, I said Dyche. Dan Hall says all Brighton should have played, deciding to play 2 up front and no one on the pitch whipping, crossing. Yeah, an interesting stat. But again, how many balls did we put over the top? Have to realise that we could get in behind dunk. We didn't bother. Play Dennis Pratt. Yep, completely agree. Dennis Pratt should have got a game today. Patrick says Dyche was offered the job and accepted it before Rodgers stepped down. 2 wins and we're 11th. Mark, come on, mate. You can't sit. Mark, if you want to come on the show, I'll put the link out. Come on. And if you can defend that or defend the start of this season, mate, and the comments from a manager chucking players under the bus left, right and centre. It's not just about the performances to me. It's Brendan Rodgers' whole personality at the moment. Chucking players under the bus, moaning all the time, week in, week out, like a baby that he didn't get any players in. Yeah, moaning week in, week out that he didn't get the players that he wanted, even though apparently he was told so. 50-50 if that was the case. We'll never know the situation. Problem he got is, mate, Brendan Rodgers signed those players last year and now saying that Vestergaard ain't good enough. Cags, well, he won't put his arm around him and try and get him back to the player that he was. He just turns around and goes, well, his standards aren't good enough. That's it. You don't get in the team. That's not a manager. A manager who's the 4th highest paid sorts those problems out. He tries to work with players. Good managers get the best out of the players they've got. This group of players aren't bad. This squad of players isn't a bad squad. Manager has given up on the squad. That's what seems like to me, and he's asking to be sacked. Even Darren Bent said on TalkSport, this is Darren Bent, a professional footballer, even said Rodgers is after getting sacked. Why? Because he wants the payout. Get Benitez in, 50-50 on that one. But again, he probably could sort the defence out what we're in at the moment. Sam says, might get more points than Derby. Might get more points than Derby. Oh, don't, mate. I even thought that the other day. I'd hate to go down with less points than Derby's 11. Never rated Rodgers or Maddison. A bit short on that, mate. Times have changed. Rodgers' excuses coming out now. Well, I was just trying to get his interview up. When I get it up, I'll put it on there, mate. 10 minutes. I've got 10 minutes, mate, that I'm going to go. Like you say, mate, it's just excuse after excuse. It's come to point. It's just boring, mate. It's boring to watch. It's boring to listen to anymore. Scott says we have been having some talks every week since last season. This has been going for 18 months. Michael said Rodgers won the highest paid people in Leicestershire. He completely is. Poch. What can you say? Well, I'd love him, but I can't see it happening. No. We need a manager with passion like Conte. Completely agree. Agree, Tom. Appalling treatment to Cags. Yep. He has to go. Phil, Justin not being the same since last season. Completely since he got injured, mate. He hasn't been the same in my opinion. That's just what I think. I don't think he's come back. I think he can be, but again, I think it's a case of it's taken time to get back to where get where he can be back again. Right, let's get what Brendan is saying so far. So Brendan Rodgers so far said, I'm young and fresh as a manager and enjoying every minute of the time here at Leicester and will continue to until someone tells me different. I love working with the players and we have to stay strong and stay focused to get that confidence back. You're not really that young, Brendan. Behave yourself. Anything else up there? Nothing yet. That's the first lot coming through. Well, it doesn't say much, is it? It just sounds like more excuses to me.
He's very good at PR. He's very good at PR, but what he's trying to crave the cracks, but the cracks are too big now. The players are arguing. The fans are toxic. You know, it's showing now. You can pave the cracks for so long, but eventually you get an earthquake. And, you know, we're
Here's another quote from Rodgers. Keep supporting the team. The team at this is a team that needs support more than never. If they're nervous when the team passes it out from the back, that will make the players anxious. Well, stop playing out from the back all the time, Rodgers. If you haven't got a goalkeeper who can't pass it out from the back, or defenders who can't pass it out from the back, don't play it out from the back. Go long. Try and win 50-50s in midfield. I'd rather we do that than every single time the ball comes backwards, we're all panicking like today to see what's going to happen. All clangers to start. What else? People thought, sorry, on a rant there. What 2 games we're going to win? Exactly. And this is my point. What 2 games do we go and win? Scott says this had continued since mid last season. Definitely has, mate.
This has happened January 2021. This form.
Bye-bye, Rodgers. What Soyuncu and Cags done? Exactly, mate. Exactly. Rodgers blaming fans after the game for making the players nervous. Well, that's what I just read out, mate. That says it all, mate. Blaming the fans for making the players nervous.
He's not said it's my fault. He's not said it's my tactic. He's always putting it on someone else.
Yeah, that's what's just been said. Keep supporting the team that needs support more than never. If they're nervous when the team passes out from the back, that will make the players anxious. Well, behave yourself, Rodgers. The players get paid thousands to be a professional footballer.
I've got dinner, mate, so I need to shoot. You can.
Yeah, it's fine, mate. I'll wrap it up. We've got 5 minutes anyway. Thanks for coming on, mate.
No problem.
Yeah, John, it's gone. I have 5 more minutes. Get your comments and guys. I want to know. I'm hopefully getting a few more back from Brendan interview, and be interesting what says. There we go. A few more. I take Rodgers on responsibility he has to take for the loss. I take full responsibility. If there's anyone to blame, then that's me. That's the fail of the manager. Well, that's obvious, Brendan. Come out and say you made a mistake by picking wrong players in the wrong shape. He has to go. Should never have given into selling for Fana. Well, I don't agree with that, because if Fana wants to go, I don't want to play at the football club. He doesn't want to be here, because he's going to stink, and that will rock through to the team as well. Kolo Toure, defence coach. Yeah, I mentioned this after we played Villa last year and got a bit of a telling off, because I'd said if I went to work and worked so poorly in my job, I'd get sacked. How's Kolo Toure not been sacked when apparently he's the defence coach? Is there no way we can keep his job after the show? Well, no, there's no way. There's no way, Mark. I completely agree. There's no way he can keep the job. Just get enough on here. Well, yeah. We've sat managed for less. Claudio only got said that after winning the league the following season and getting the club into the last 16 of the Champions League. You know what I mean? We lost to Seville that night in the last 16, and he got sacked after that game. Even though he got us out the group, he got us, 15th, 16th, 17th maybe under him, but no, bottom of the league, and he still keeps going. Ward can get into the Wales team. Yeah, just shows you how poor. But then again, the last couple of games they've played Hennessy, I think, Wayne Hennessy. Any more comments coming out of the club so far? Don't get me wrong, if Rodgers gets sacked tonight or tomorrow, we will be live straight as it happens, obviously, and get your thoughts on it. And people like say, who keep saying, who do you change it with? Well, I don't get paid the money to make that decision. I have thoughts, Dyche, Pollock. You can go through the list of the ones every single time and get lit with the jobs. What I don't get paid is what the directors, Sue Wheeland and John Rugg, can get paid. They get paid to make a decision. They get paid to bring whoever needs to come in next and bring the club back together. Because at the moment, the club is completely, utterly mashed. There's no cohesion. There's no togetherness. The supporters are gone. The players have gone. And I don't see how Rodgers can keep coming out with the same draw every single week. Leicester till I die. I'm applying for the job onwards and upwards. Mate, you couldn't do a worse job than what's going on. And like I said, I have a lot of respect for Brennan, and I thank him for the FA Cup, and I thank him for all the European ventures that we've been on. But enough is enough. Nothing come through. Come on, Owen. I mean, thank you for coming on, guys. It's 300 people on here tonight chucking your views in. It's much appreciated. Let's get a few more in before I have to go. Can't see him keeping his job after this poor start and a shambolic performance today. Completely agree, mate. I don't understand the point of playing Barnes with Luke Thomas. Thomas is just interesting and poor. We need either JJ, who has recovery speed on that side, or Cassano, who is much. Well, the thing is, mate, the game against Man U, Thomas got caught out of position for the goal, and that for me spelt going into the weekend we need someone who could read the game better. And I don't get why he started. Rodgers spent hundreds of millions, and very few players get a game. No wonder the board won't back him. Completely agree, and that's why I think Top didn't back him with money. This was a must-win. His media attendance reflects it on the players' performance. How can he motivate a team like this? I said there's an interesting one. If you wanted someone to be like Conte on the touchline, that is the man. My position is he's not got the experience in the Premier League to deal with the players we've got, or be able to manage the players we've got at the moment. You need experience to come in. Put Barnes, but Barnes doesn't get back to help. No, he doesn't get back to help, mate. And there's a few things, mate. For me, if you're going to play Barnes, you've got to play someone there who's going to help. I mean, there's a few people on Twitter, let's say Top pulls the trigger and pays off for Brendan. Who can we obviously get as a club? But again, there is managers out there. I'm not having this, who do you get all the time? So what do you say? So because there's not one out there who anyone really wants, that we just sit here with Rodgers? It doesn't work like that. Time is enough, and time has got to happen now that we have to get someone to try and sort this mess out. I can't even think, God rest his soul, that Vishai is looking down and thinking, what the hell is going on? Top brought, I don't get me wrong, Top brought Rodgers in, and it was a great appointment at the time. And he's had 3 great years, he did, or 2.5 great years. But now Top has got to be the man his dad wants him to be and make the hardest decision and be, sack him. He sacked Paul for less. Paul got sacked. We're saying 7 wins out of 27 league games. The other day when I did it was 7 out of 25. Pure got sacked for that. And Pure won 8 out of 25 games. He won a game more and still got sacked. Fish I had a dream and this wasn't it. Completely agree, mate. Leek says, yes, get rid, but who do you trust to go forward, keep up and keep us up, Tom? Again, like I said, mate, that's not my call. I'd love Poch to come in. I think Dyche could do a good job because, like I said, listen to his interview. He spoke about Burnley and he said, I played what Burnley could play with the players he had. He built it around the players that he had and he built a good team. Problem is that time ran out of Burnley because he didn't get the signs he needed to keep the players what he wanted after losing Chris Wood. Losing your better players, it killed Burnley. Same with Leicester. I think if he came in, he'd play around the players we've got. And I think you'd go back to a more counter style of play. You've got Barnes, you've got Daka, you've got Nacho, you've got Maddison, you've got Tillemans. The players want to play forward quickly. These players at the back, Johnny Evans, Justin, Cassania, Daniel Amati are not comfortable enough to play a style of football that Brendan wants to play for me. They're not ticky-tacky defenders. They don't want to be passing out from the back. Wilfred Adini does not want to be getting the ball in the middle of the park and trying to set play up forward. It's obvious to see for me on that one. Even Celtic stopped giving him money towards the end. Yeah, exactly. That says it all to me as well. Anything else from BBC Radio Leicester before we sign out? Rodgers says, I only control the football and that's my focus. I try and get the best out of the players that I have available. As for the state of the overall club, it's disappointing what we had to deal with over the summer. Yes, Rodgers, it's disappointing that you blew 200 million over the last 3 years on some of the players that haven't worked out. Take some responsibility as well as blaming the club. That says to me, and that says it all, that Rodgers is saying it's disappointment that the state of the club is in. I'm going to finish on that Rodgers, once again, is blaming the club and board. He won't take responsibility. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for your views. Remember, tomorrow night, Phil will, I think, says he's going to have an hour-long special. He's going to chuck the link out. Get on. Give us your views. We want your views. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. Phil will probably chuck the channel out or the link out at some point tomorrow. If not, I'll make sure it's out there for everyone to get on. Come on, we want as many new faces on this channel as we do every week. People moan they just see the same old faces. Me, John, Jono, Jamie, Phil, Sam, Mark. It's the same old people say. We want you on. We will put the link out there. Click on it. Get your views in tomorrow night with Phil. But for now, keep it all. Leicester Fan TV. Keep backing the players. I will say that. Keep backing the players the best we can when we were there at the games. I know it's frustrating, but we still all Leicester City and we all still want goal to be in the Premier League next season. Good night.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie & Co Estate Agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, Leicester Fan